Hello, my name is Alexander Morari, and I'm the founder of ITKeyMedia. You've tuned into our podcast about Central and Eastern European startups that are in pre-Series A stage. Our guest today is Dumitru Ciorici, the co-founder of Fagura. That's a p2p lending marketplace, coming from Moldova, of all the places. Bună ziua, Dumitru.
Hello, bună ziua.
Look, Fagura is a Moldovan company by origin, but Estonian company by law, you could say. Why so?
That is because we wanted to have a background of European Union company. We wanted to be sure that people to be sure that their investments are safe, they are protected by European Union laws, and also it's a matter of credibility. So we've decided to incorporate the mother company in Estonia and from this point manage all the other daughter companies, the one in Moldova and the one in Romania.
Okay. So the Estonian company is not only for Fagura, but that's the holding structure there.
Yeah, that's the holding structure, exactly.
Amazing. So technically, if you were involved in the process, how difficult, how easy it is for a Moldovan company to incorporate in Estonia?
Well, it's not that difficult because Estonia has very good legislations in terms of digital policies, digital laws, very good, and a lot of stuff can be done remotely. So half of our management activities are done throughout the internet by being in Moldova. Sometimes we need to go to Estonia. So it's very convenient from this point of view. Estonia has positioned itself as a leader in Eastern Europe in a matter of digital country, and we can confirm that it's very easy to work with the local authorities due to this commitment for making it a truly digital country with digital services all over.
Mm-hmm. And look, Moldova and Estonia, you might say, are pretty similar in many ways. Not a big country, easy to change the direction for development and so on. And so Estonia made their choice. First, would you agree that the official kind of influence on the digital dimension of the country is a follow-up on what the actual business has done in Estonia? With all those big exits, Skype and similar, and all those pretty expensive and effective startups, basically, that then reinvest into Estonian startup community. Is that the reason? Do you think this might happen in Moldova as well? Because you know Moldovan space much better. I've been out of sync, although I come from Moldova, by the way. But I wonder what makes it difficult to do something like that in Moldova?
Well, first of all, Estonia has done two important things in the last 30 years. The first one, the political one, which I believe is very important, they got away with the past and they established that they want to be part of the European family. They've made very important steps in embracing European values.
Political will, yeah. So
exactly.
Political
so
will.
This was the first major step they have done about 30 years ago, and the second major step they have done about 10 years ago, embrace the digital future. So currently Estonia has a lot of public services. Actually, the majority of public services in Estonia are digitized. Mm-hmm. Also, Estonia has digital signature, digital ID. Basically, you can do anything with your digital ID by staying at home, signing documents, signing contracts, conduct your relations with the state absolutely remotely.
Yeah.
So this is the reason Estonia is so much further in front of Moldova at this point. Moldova did not have that political will, and Moldova did not make so many steps in terms of digitalization. We have great achievements in the last 7 years. The government had finally started to implement a lot of policies attracting IT investments. By the way, in Moldova, you have a unique tax for IT companies. It's 7%. 7%.
7% tax. You mean corporate income tax, right?
Exact.
Wow.
It's 7%. Okay. It's fixed, and that's all taxes IT companies in Moldova pay right now if they are members of the IT Park Moldova. So, and that is happening capital, right? For. And it can be, you can work in other regions, but you must be a member of this organization. Okay. So and this policy has become a law about 5-7 years ago, and now we have the sector has more than 600 IT companies in Moldova, where tens of thousands of people work here. The export of IT services grew by 120 or 150% in the last years. So basically, the government understood that this is a huge opportunity, and they started doing something for this. That's the reason we have some startups that have developed in the last years, but still we're not at that step where Estonia is right now.
So and, decision has been made, proper decision has been made, you think, and what the vector has been chosen. You know what, interesting intro, and thanks a lot. I'm sure not many people know what's going on in Moldova in terms of IT or tech space in general, and this is a good dive into a general kind of overview. And let's then get back to the scenario and start with round one, the solution. Fagura, what's that and what are you building right now?
So Fagura is a P2P lending marketplace where we are connecting two groups of people. On one side, investors that want to earn more than on bank deposits. Today, if you open a bank deposit in Moldova, you get an interest rate of less than 1%, and I believe it's the same in very many countries.
Yeah.
On another side, borrowers who are looking for lower interest rates when they get a loan from microfinance or from the banks. So basically, we are connecting these two groups of people on our platform: investors who are funding loans and borrowers who are asking for them. So this is the first kind of platform in Moldova and in Romania. And we are already working in Moldova for more than 1.5 years.
Okay.
We have intermediated loans for more than €500,000. And in May, we have successfully closed the Seeders crowdfunding campaign, raising more than €300,000, which brings us to an evaluation of €2 million. Our next
what was the dilution there? Sorry, what was the dilution as an outcome of this?
About 15%.
Okay. And how many investors? How many investors you got interested?
About 80.
80. Yeah. Okay. And can you segregate them somehow? What parties like companies and what parties physical people, physical persons, and any maybe interesting facts about the investor community on Seeders? Because
as far as I know, it's like more than 99% are physical persons, if it's not 100%. So basically, we've done it in 2 stages. If it's interesting for your listeners, we wanted to boost up the local community of entrepreneurs and investors and gave them the chance, firstly, to invest. So it was the first stage was a closed campaign. And it's
so you just use Seeders platform to run this closed kind of investment round, right?
The first stage, yes. That took place just 1 week. It was just 1 week priority for the community of local investors. So we've got about 40 or 15 local investors.
Cool.
And the rest came through the Seeders platform in the next stage, and we got overfunding. We did not plan to raise such an amount. We planned initially to raise about €200,000, and when we saw that that energy and lots of people that got interested and wanted to invest, we've decided at a board meeting that we will increase the share of our valuation, and
What the hell? Let's go for
we want
it. Yeah.
we went in overfunding to about 15%, from 11% to 15%.
And look, what an amazing idea! First of all, let's just make it clear that we are now mixing first round with the fifth round about the funding. But what an amazing idea to first invite people that know you already and you have some traction with them business-wise or relationship-wise and so on. And then with this 40, which is like 50% of the total investor base, right? Investor pool on Seeders. So you open up the campaign to broader audience, having already gained some momentum, right? And then it's easy. And then you could say oversubscription is almost by default. I mean, you could say, right? And this oversubscription on Seeder will be with you in all your pitch decks and so on throughout the whole history.
Yeah, but that is not a guarantee. If you do not do your homework,
of course,
then you don't reach that goal. And we've done that also for another reason. It took about 1 week for local investors to put up in order of their accounts, to open accounts, to transfer the money. The transfers take place about 3 days.
Couple of days.
It's international transfer, yeah. And it was important for us to wait and support the local community of investors also.
Of course.
Not just showcasing that we did a good job on Seeders, but showing that we have a local community of investors in Moldova also.
Yeah. I take this for granted, of course. Dumitru, let's go through a quick Q&A about the platform and this marketplace. There are many marketplaces, of course, and I'm sure you're following like top 10, top 20 marketplaces, and you have a good set of rules or models to follow. But let's see how you deal with certain important unit economics and important kind of criteria for marketplaces like that. So let's start. What's the maximum minimum amount one can borrow from Fagura?
We've started with 1,000 euro, and we've increased the limit at about 5,000 euro. Not about, but exactly 5,000 euro.
So the amounts are then paid out in local currency, I understand, right?
They are paid out in local currency, but everything is calculated in euro, so we could maintain the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, technically, what exchange rate you use? National bank plus your spread, or like what's the approach here to this exchange?
Yes, it's the rate from the national bank.
So without any additional spreads or margin that you add. What I mean is very often banking or financing institutions have hidden fees in these exchange rates, which is normal, but just wanted to find out.
We don't practice any hidden fees. Actually, this is one important thing we're advertising for our customers. The only fees we have are the public one we announce. We take a commission fee of 3% from borrowers and 2% from investors, and that's it.
Wait, commission fee, that's important. Commission fee, 3 from investors, right? And 2 from borrowers. Okay. And at what moment do you take these commissions?
We are taking the commission when the loan is paid back, or the rates of the loan is paid back. When you get the payments monthly in the system, we automatically take the commission free from that payment, from the investor and from the borrower.
Okay, but that's okay. And so basically what it means, same amount is, let's say, taxed by you, I would say, or you get commissions for the same amount, 3% on one side and 2% on the other side. And mathematically, economically, does it add up to 5% on the whole amount? Or
that's 5%. That's our commission. That's our total commission fee right now.
Okay. Yeah. And split between the two parties, right?
Exactly.
Okay. What about the annual percentage rate on your platform? I mean, minimum, maximum.
This is also very important attraction point for our customers, for our borrowers. On borrower side, we have a scoring system which analyzes the files of the applications of those who are making their requests, and the scoring system, which uses artificial intelligence, is according a degree risk for each borrower. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Okay.
And we are analyzing dozens of criteria. And depending of the information they have filled out, the information we are checking in the public registries,
okay,
we are offering him a degree risk. And depending of this degree risk, they can get interest rates from 9% per year
okay,
till 40. But 40 or 50, this is the worst case scenario, like for the worst type of borrower. Usually we are very careful with this type of investors. Our system is built such way that it rejects such types of investors, that such type of loan applications from borrowers that have more than 40% interest rate. Why? Because we understand that the capacity of payment, it's not so high, and we don't want to put the risk investors' money.
Okay.
And at this stage, our NPL rate is less than 3%. It's 2.9%.
And just explain NPL rate. What's that?
Non-performant loan portfolio. So I have some figures from 7,000 loan requests. Our system approved just about 600. That's approval rate of 9%. So we're very strict with our scoring system is very strict with borrowers that apply for a loan. We want to make sure we don't have a high non-performant portfolio rate.
And repeat again, how much is the default percentage by now? I mean, NPL? In percentage, you mentioned.
It's less than 2.9%.
Okay.
The average in Eastern Europe is 4 or 5% in the banking sector. So we have a lower NPL than banks. That means our scoring system is much stricter than the banks.
Yeah. Plus, I understand more cost-effective system, right? Because you want to base it on AI rather than human interaction and human analysis and so on. Okay. Yeah, interesting. What about the commission fees again? So you mentioned that your only commissions are 3% that you take from investors and 2% from borrowers, and that's it.
Yeah.
No subscription. No subscription fees. No additional products.
No, anyone can create an account on our platform, Fagura.com, and choose to be a borrower or an investor.
Okay. No origination fee. No late payment fees. What I mean, like on performance, a loan performance kind of site as well. You do have some penalties, right?
Of course, we have a management risk.
Yeah.
And all loans on our platform and are separated on delays, like 30 days delay, 60 days delay. And in each case, we have some fees that the borrower should pay if he gets over the line.
Okay.
If you are a good payer, you don't pay any fees, just the 3%.
Yeah, it's fair enough. And every borrower knows their limits, right? Like when they are considered good borrowers and without any penalties, and when they cross the line, and then they know they are running.
They are notified. They are notified by emails, by SMS that their due date to pay the loan is approaching, and after that, as far as I know right now, they have about 20 to 30 days with no penalties if they get over that time. Situations happen. You are not home. You're on vacation. You don't have money on your card. So we are giving this free period to borrowers to pay their...
Let's take this to extreme. So I'm the borrower who ignores your 30-day alerts, 60-day alerts. You have non-performing loan with me. I mean, I have a non-performing loan for like 6 months or so. Penalties add up. And what's the extreme case? What do you do with that? You just sign off you sign me off and put me into blacklist, or you take this externally to some local, like, I don't know, police or tax authorities or something?
So after 7 days after you passed your deadline to pay, our legal team is contacting you and supporting you to pay your debts in the next 30 days for free.
So you have
with
your
no
vindication
penalties.
team in-house, right? That's what
Exactly.
you do.
We
Okay.
have
Okay.
we have our legal team and support, and we are trying to support our clients to
Yeah.
pay the debts in the next 30 days. If they do not do so, they have another 15 days, and after 45 days, we have contracts with collection companies, and after 45, it depends. From 45 to 60 days late, your contract goes to the collection agencies, and you can get sued, and we take the money back in the law court.
Yeah, yeah. So I think this information is also important, not only for borrowers to know what's in store for them, so that they do not
this
take
is very important
advantage
for
of your
investors.
company. Yeah, and investors.
Every
on the
investor
platform.
is asking, what happens if somebody doesn't pay the loan? What happens with my money? And we have this management risk, step by step, what we're doing to recover the money.
Yeah, okay. What about the repayment terms in years? Like, what's the approach right now? What's the maximum and the minimum, let's say, repayment period that you have on platform?
At first, we have started with 6 months. We were testing the platform. We want to see how the flow is going, how the money are transferred, like checking everything. At first, that was 2 years ago. Now, this year, we have increased the repay terms until 3 years. And we've increased the amount of money you can request. So now, if you want, I can share the screen and you can see how this is taking place on the platform, if it's interesting or we have time.
Yeah, so Dumitru, thanks for taking us into like live demo, and let's see how it looks at the back end.
So basically, I have logged in on my investor account. You have the main menu here, and then you have some statistics about your portfolio. For instance, I have a 14% interest rate in medium one in the last 1 year and a half. Today I have only 132 euro, and my position in the rank is 146. Below, you can see the list of loan requests we have right now on the platform that are in the funding period. As I was telling you, the maximum amount you can request is 5,000 euro. You can see it here. You can see the degree risk, B4, C3, B5, and the interest rate the borrower, an investor would receive if he funds this loan.
Sorry, these are the available investment opportunities, right? I understand.
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
And when you click on them, you can choose an investor. As an investor, the maximum amount of money you want to invest. So we have limited this to 100 euro. We want to minimize the risk, and an investor cannot invest more than 100 euro today in a loan. To diversify the portfolio.
Per one group.
Loan.
Per one loan. Okay, all together, right?
Yeah, and as you can see, all of these degree risk are acceptable for me right now. All of them are for 3 years, 36 months, and you will get this interest rate if you fund them, and the borrower repays back in time. From this percent, we take the commission fee. So on average, an investor funding these loans would get between 15 and 20% in the end. And here you can see the funding period. It's 56% funded. Yeah, you can see the bar, the loading bar. And when this is finished, the borrower gets the contract. He signs online the contract and he gets the money into his bank account. So basically, this is it. It's very simple. It's very easy. Once a borrower decides to apply for a loan the first time, he can send the application in about 15 minutes. If he does that repeatedly, he can do that in 10 seconds. because we have
because
all his data.
Yeah.
And and sometimes investors are having their auto invest set. You can see the auto invest. You choose the loans with what types of degrees you want to invest. For instance, you choose Chi, you choose A or B for 1 year, and you want to invest about €100 per loan. And you activate it, and he's automatically investing your money when he sees in the system in the funding period those criteria.
Yeah, love it. I mean, love the automatic. Once you, as an investor, if you have invested a couple of times and you see it works and you get the returns and so on, then this auto invest, I think, might be one of the like disruption element, and kind of a reason for explosive growth of the platform. But of course, you need to deliver to investors good results and reliable. Interesting. Dumitru, yes, thanks for this guided tour of the platform from investors' point of view. And as far as borrowers, who is eligible right now to borrow from the marketplace?
Yeah, this was a very good, important challenge for us at the beginning, because we are accepting only persons with official income. We have a big diaspora people that work outside Moldova, and sometimes people have money but they don't have the official income, and we don't accept those loan requests. And unfortunately, there are many people that have unofficial income and they cannot apply for a loan. But people got educated, time is passing, people understand that they must show their official income, because we're having a lot of connections with the public registries, with the tax services, and our scoring system is verifying all those data in those registries, and you can get a loan if we see the information about your tax paid, about your income.
Look, in a way, you might say that the platform might be helping to change potential investors' habits in business and in the way they do business and in the way they manage their finances, probably motivating them to go from the gray kind of shadow zone into the like pure official and taxed and all of that. Interesting. Interesting. Let's move on. What about the lender side? Who can become a lender investor?
A lender can become any person from Europe.
By Europe, you mean European Union or Europe?
I mean Moldovan citizens and European Union.
Dumitru, thanks. I think for the kind of walkthrough of the program of the marketplace and your achievements by now, we've done more than enough right now. Thanks a lot. That was interesting. Let's move on to round two, competitors. This is not a new business model. This is not, the entry barrier has become pretty low, basically. And now you found a niche for Moldovan and Romanian markets, I understand, for the time being. But then when you try to expand international and global, you will meet pretty strong competitors. Who do you think are the best competitors that you can follow, and how do you intend to crush them?
First of all, our key advantage point is that we have opened our services in virgin places, in virgin markets.
Okay.
There's no such services there's no such service in Moldova. There's no such service in Romania right now. And we're talking about a market of about 20 million people. Mm-hmm. We have checked and validated the platform on a small market like Moldova. We did that intentionally. We could go in other countries also, but we did that intentionally to check the platform, to check the flow, to make sure we don't lose money, because at stake is our image, is investors' money. And we wanted to be sure that when we go to the next step for expansion, we have everything working very smooth. So this is the case right now. We are expanding in Romania this year. We have already opened the company in Romania. our legal company is working right now to obtain the necessary legal documents for starting to grant loans on the Romanian market. And this actually is the biggest advantage we have right now. Of course, there are other competitors in Eastern Europe and Central Europe that started as P2P platforms earlier. But we believe we have a very motivated team. We know each other, by the way, we know each other for more than 15 years, and we have managed already 4 business exits until right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So we are very motivated to make this a sustainable business. We don't plan to exit full in the next year. Our team is motivated to continue at least 3, 4, 5 years further. Of course, nobody can say what will happen after 5 years. You don't know what will happen in the next year in this crazy world, but we're committed to work and develop this project in the next 5 years.
Okay.
We really want to make to increase the figures of this business 10 times.
Yeah. I mean, if this is a marketplace in fintech like that, as soon as you open up a new jurisdiction and you go through all the setup kind of pains in the neck and so on, then scalability is not an issue usually, right? Especially that you start from smaller markets where you can polish the technology and all the AI kind of tools and so on. Okay, clear. Dumitru, let's move on. Round 3, just to relax a little bit. That's a quick Q&A kind of session, okay? Look, life of a startup founder or startup, let's say, is pretty intense, and you have lots of challenges. How do you deal with these productivity challenges, and what are your productivity hacks?
Well, this is a very interesting topic. We are using, as everyone that wants to be productive, different tools to achieve our goals. For instance, I have my task manager, and then we have the group task manager to achieve our goals. We have KPIs, our system on our CRM. We have a very important section in the CRM is the KPIs we have to achieve by the end of each month. Number of loans, number of investors attracted on the platform, number of posts that we do on social media, how many interactions we get, how many engagements we get. So each person has its KPIs it has to meet till the end of the month. And we have a counter basically for very many tasks we have that you have done 38% from your job. And if it's 25th of the month, that means you have a big problem. That means we don't manage to assure this flow is taking place easily. So we must change something. We must, I don't know, either we must increase the budget for marketing, either we have to employ another person. So this is like one of the tips and tricks that we use this
gamification kind of approach, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
to manage what you can measure, basically, and the measurements you show somehow, I understand, what, on the screen, right, available to the whole team? Is this approach?
It's not something available to all the team. It's something that usually the management of the companies has with each department or each person that has an area of oversighting.
Yeah, and what tools what specifically what tools you are using for? You mentioned CRM, okay? So what CRM you chose?
So basically, we have our internal CRM for this.
Okay.
Our IT development has done an internal CRM, and we are checking the KPIs of the platform on productivity and on borrowers, investors, and also everything translated in percent. This is one tool we're using. If we're talking about other productivity tools, I'm using Todoist for my personal tasks. We're using ClickUp for marketing. One of our colleagues colleague uses Asana. Like he likes best Asana, so we're using Trello for the IT department to monitor the progress of the workflow. We have every day or every 2 days some stand-ups with the IT department, like what has been done, what needs to be done in the future. We have one monthly meeting with the board to decide the key directions for the next month. And we have weekly meetings with the marketing department for checking the KPIs, because the marketing is an important domain for us, because if you do your job very well, you get more borrowers, more investors.
Yeah, of course.
So it's a journal, and now we're in the process of employing new people for the marketing team.
Okay, great. Let's move on to round 4, the company. So I mentioned already that the founders have known each other for like 15 years in different companies, and moreover, you not only work together, you exited from a number of companies. Fagura itself was founded in 2017, more or less, I understand. And so the founders are Tudor Daria, founder and CEO, yourself, and you are in charge of business development, I understand. And who else in the founding team?
So it depends what we mean by founders. If we take the cap table right now, we have Sergiu Gâdei from a law firm in Romania. We have Cristian Pasha, ex-Bloomberg, also from Romania. It's myself. Then we have the CTO, Sandu Kamerzan. And we have another important key person, but I cannot tell you very many details right now.
Yeah, no problem. So those gentlemen from Romania, I understand they are on cap table as angel investors, right? Or are they 100% dedicated?
They have invested in the last year.
Okay, how many people you are now on the team, and if you are growing, what key roles you're looking for right now? Yeah, so Dumitru, how many people you have right now in the team altogether? And if you are hiring, what key roles you look for right now?
So if we're taking the shareholders plus the team that is working right now, we are about 16 people. Okay,
are you hiring right now? And where's the biggest pressure?
Yes, we are hiring right now in the IT department, and we are hiring in the support and in the marketing.
And your approach to hiring, people have to be in the office with you, or are you open to remote contribution as well from other markets?
We are very not pessimistic about this thing with the remote work, but we understand that you cannot achieve great efficiency when people work remotely. Yes, there are some cases when this is totally doable. You have some specific tasks, specific days, which is not like tomorrow or the day after tomorrow as a deadline. And that could be okay, which is not really our case. We have a lot of work in the IT department. We are building now the mobile application. So if you want to be efficient, I think you are 30 or 40% much more efficient when you have day-to-day tasks to combine with to combine and collaborate with other teams. It's important to be on the place. So we are focusing mostly inviting people to be present in the office, but that does not mean that you have to be 100% in the office. If there is a day or a period of time that you can do your job at home, that's no problem. But
and I like your approach. It's best, I think, for founders and for people running companies not to follow the trend and not to give in to the pressure, because you can feel there's a pressure globally that remote is the word for the next phase. And
I totally disagree with the trend right now. I have stayed at home just 1 month, I think, in the pandemic, and after that I said, that's it. I have to go to the office. I have to go to office. I have to be concentrated, and my productivity got much more higher when I was working in the office.
Yeah, I personally survived, I think, maybe 1 week at home with kids and all the family. No, I said no more. Give me peace. I go back to office. Bye bye. Yes, thanks, Dumitru. Let's move on. Round 5, Formula F3. We call this funding for the future, or fun in finding funds, and so on and so on. Depends on your approach to funding process as such. But quick intro. By now, I understand the total investment is more or less 600k euros. And that's a mixture of what angels, seeder campaign, and own equity by the founders.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
about the right figure.
Yeah. So, and now, what are your plans for the next stage?
So, as I've told you earlier, we have successfully closed the Seeders crowdfunding campaign. All those money will be used for boosting our activity in Moldova and expanding in Romania, mainly in the next half of the year.
Okay.
We're planning also to launch the mobile application until the end of this year. And the funds we have right now, I think they are enough till the next spring. The next year, we're planning another round I think it will reach to more than 500,000 or more than 1 million. It depends on how the
all the dynamics,
spending,
mm-hmm.
All the dynamics in the next half a year. But we're planning another round early next year.
And again, on a crowdfunding platform, or reach out to institutionalized kind of VCs?
We have not decided yet. We are still signing the paperwork with the Seeders right now, and we are waiting to close all the legal part, and then we will decide.
I see. So ink has not dried yet on the on the previous campaign. Okay.
Yeah.
And last but not least, have you guys in the founding team discussed already your ideal exit scenarios? I know you will tell this is too early. We want to focus. Blah blah blah. Tell me the true approach, like what you have discussed already.
I have answered half of the question when I told you that we're committed to work on the startup at least 3 years in the future. We have most of the team is not interested in exit right now. Like most of the team, all the shareholders are not interested because we are just starting to increase very fast. We're just starting, so people would lose a huge opportunity if they would sell right now. So I believe the exit strategy is not in our discussions right now, and it could be a topic to discuss after 1 or 2 years, but it's not the case right now. As I told you, we're committed now to expand the business and increase the figures very fast.
Okay, let's just try another time. So acquisition or IPO, and as far as Moldovan companies, there is one company, right? I guess that has roots in Moldova that is now on stock exchange in States, New York, I think, New York Stock Exchange. It's an Endava, right? And they have the roots in Moldova. So as far as I understand, so they succeeded to reach the bell on stock exchange floor. One of the exit scenarios, and another could be, just as you mentioned, that you started in like virgin markets, so to say. So as soon as you become strong and like leader and monopolist, an acquisition target might be also interesting for. I mean, Fagura is an acquisition target for the bigger player. And what from these two, which one would you prefer? In 5 year time, 10 year time, it's not about the range, but there is. I mean, I think that there should be at least some soft kind of idea about the exit and what would be ideal for you personally. And you can say, this is my personal opinion, all this stuff, so that you do not have any issues.
Alexander,
in the team.
if you want me to be sincere, we did not have this talk with the team. If you want my personal opinion, Well, there are a lot of institutions, especially financial institutions, that are interested in what we're doing right now. For instance, one of our next target is to build a scoring for business that we're going to launch in this autumn. This means we will apply the same rules that we're doing for individuals right now for companies, for startups. We have banks that are interested in our system. They are the leading bank right now in Moldova is testing our system. So they are interested either in buying the white label solution for scoring. I think I said too much, like buying, not buying, but interested in how this solution works. If this would be something interesting for them and decide it's like useful and they can make money out of it, we are taking into consideration to sell the white label of the scoring. So this is like the first
API approach, right? Kind of.
Yeah, API approach. This is the first discussion we're having about like selling something from not the business, but from our products as a white label. So if you don't want me to lie, this is like what we've discussed about. If we're talking about exit, I think the most common thing would be like selling the system, selling the platform to someone in favor of listing to a stock exchange. I think Fagura, it's not that type of business to be on the stock exchange. Or maybe I'm wrong right now. Maybe I will change my opinion in the next 3 years.
I'm sure whatever the final decision, that will be the best for the company. And Dumitru, thanks a lot for this debut of a Moldovan company and podcast. All the best, good luck, and conquer the virgin area and expand to more established markets as well. Thanks, all the best.
Thank you for the invitation.